Good evening, everyone. Myself, Vandana, the National Youth Representative of the Wiki Water Resource Council, welcome you all on behalf of the Monday Munching Musing with Women for Water. This is an initiative of the Eco Development and Research Cell, a not-for-profit initiative of the environment design consultants based out of Ahmedabad, with support of the Water Resource Council of the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, known as Wiki Water Resource Council, and in collaboration with W4W Foundation. Our media partner for the same is Counterview. I am joined today with Mansi, who is the National President, Wiki Water Resource Councils. Welcome, Mansi. We are glad to start this conversation named Monday Munching Musing with Women for Water, which we colloquially refer to as Blue Lips among us. This is basically aimed to share the worries, the wisdom by the women, for the women, and of the women for water. In here, we hope to learn about the water endeavors in a very regular, disciplined manner, like a master class. Although a master class, but it's going to be more of a candid conversation. And for this, today, we are here to listen and know more about Snehal Donde. She is presently with Wiki Water Resource Council as National President for Community and is also associated with BBRC. Welcome, Snehal ma'am. To briefly introduce to my audience here, Snehal is an environmental conservationist and education administrator. She is a Dean Administrative Affairs of Bhaktivedanta Vidyapeeth Research Center, and she has been associated with multiple projects on environmental rationalism. She has actually, when I was going through her profile, she has like humongous experience of working on different aspects of water. She has authored multiple books and articles in journals, and we will be able to probably listen to some of her concepts which she has demystified on the issues of water from various perspectives. So welcome, Snehal ma'am, once again to this conversation.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
To begin with, I have just briefly introduced you to the audience. For the benefit of audience, can you just take us through your journey as to how you got started into water sector? Maybe you can trace us through this present day, what you are doing, and your beginning of this aspect in water.
Yeah, let me to introduce with like I have been principal of Mumbai University affiliated college for more than 2 decades, and during this period and before that also, when I was a lecturer in one of the Andheri college affiliated to Mumbai University, I used to be a NSS program officer where we do with the NSS students, and during that course I was also awarded by Best Extension Work Teacher Award because I used to do a lot of work with the student in the community. Because by virtue of having this NSS, we have some 5 to 7 days camps in the villages. And very fortunate that I was the NSS program officer. And then I used to go regularly to the villages with the students during my lecturership days. So during that period, I used to see in community, there were several issues, and I used to feel that why not we teach students like a solutionaries, identifying the problems, then becoming we can create a lot of solutionaries. That used to be in my mind every time. Also, additionally, I had the charge of a nature club chairperson in my college. So during that period, I used to see that students are very, very interested to connect to the nature. So during the nature trail, I used to take them to different places to show them on the field about the flora, fauna, how is the mountains, how river flows, and all these things we used to take them for the nature trail. And in this manner that I used to create a lot of interest among the students about all these things. Along with that, additionally, one more feature to my professional this thing was that being a zoology teacher, we used to have every year field visits, which we used to call as in either industrial visit or the field visits. So during that period also, we used to go to different places. So sometimes Sundarbans we had gone, sometimes somewhere else, like everywhere, wherever we used to be, it used to be with the nature. So a lot of thing I could do with the students, experiment with the students, with the nature, and, teaching, and then understanding that how wonderfully we can connect the student to the nature. So this was the beginning, like being a teacher and a zoologist and being the like my first PhD was also in marine zoology. So I had done a lot on the crude oil spillage on the sea, and then what is the impact of the what is the impact of this crude oil on the animals, organisms. So I had taken the study of bivalves and how bivalves get impacted, and then how carcinogenic impact happens with the bioaccumulation. All these scientific studies I used to continuously do during my professional academic this thing. And since then I was very passionate, like whatever I do, I ensured that it should not remain with me. It should have its impact in a manner that we are able to get to the solution. We are able to take these data to the right kind of an authorities, and it should not get stacked on the on the some kind of a storage almaris or something like that, but then it should go to the right authorities, and then they should work on it. So that has been since long, since my career of being a lecturer, and from there to the principalship. When I became principal, in 2006 I had become principal, and at a very I was just, I think, 33, 34 age. At that time I became principal in Mumbai University Affiliated College. And since then I used to experiment with the students by having the experience of this NSS program officer, nature club chairman, and as a teacher. So I had a lot of experience that then slowly what I did, that instead of just coming out of this like a service from the camps to the topics, like if I had to teach them something in the commerce, because I became principal in a commerce college. So I thought that commerce and art students are not having much of exposure to the science and the field visits and all. So what I started doing with commerce, economics, accounts subjects, I used to relate that to the nature, and I used to give them project based learning. So I used to connect them, like you go to the industry, like you go to the hospital, see if how much amount of plastics is being used. If it is replaced with the paper, how much economic benefits they will have, and what kind of an environmental impact it will cause. So this way, like economic study, then accounts and commerce, all these things. So beautifully I saw that students have very, very hidden potentials, which as a teacher wants can nurture very well. So I started doing all these things. Then I used to train the faculties for this. Like ultimately, after you become a principal, you are not having a direct contact with the students, but you you percolate to the students through your faculties. Then I started training the faculties. Even my this kind of all potential and experiences in our university system, like for their teachers or faculties have to undergo orientation and refresher programs for their placements, and then a university academic staff, academic college, UGC staff academic college also started inviting me. This is the place where all faculties are invited. More than 80, 90 faculties are at a time invited to the university. And there also I got an opportunity to, train them, give them the skill by which they can mentor the students. Because unless and until faculties, teachers are equipped rightly, they are not able to get the things done by the students. And students are looking up to the teachers that they want to learn beyond their books, beyond the content. This I understand very well, because today students are quite smart, because there is Google, Baba, and all these, that they get every information literally from there. They are looking something beyond. So today they are only wanting from the faculties or from people like us that we should be giving some kind of mentoring, direction, or guidelines by which they are able to develop on their own. And see, today they don't want to become a job seekers. Everybody literally wants to become an entrepreneur, basically a social entrepreneur they are looking forward to. That is what I see today. Even if you look at the trend of IITs and IIMs, they are also coming into this in a big way.
Yeah.
So this is what I feel, that with my profession, that I try to do as much possible, being a passionate in academics and research, that this is my first love. Like, through education, that I want that a student should get a right kind of a lesson, because there we have to embed with the value education, the kind of responsibility that they can do. Yeah.
Okay. I think when you are speaking and you were really reflecting the passion that you have, carried forward over the years. So it is indeed great to see that. Um, just wanted to check with you. Uh, when you are saying that you had, worked with different stakeholders group, let's say students, the faculties, and sometimes directly at the community level also, it means that you would have handled multiple tasks at the same time. Uh, how does your typical work day look like? Like, how does Snehal starts her day, and what is the regular schedule that you follow? If you could just share with us.
Very good question, this, because I feel that, see, women are born managers, and we have learned typically, to be a multitask. If you really want something to do, you will be managing the time very beautifully. And if you have seen my profile also, you must have seen that just not doing community work, just not doing my administration and these things, but along with that, I have been in the shoes of a student. That's how I have been doing one after the other degree. It's not just to, put it as a tag that I've done so many degrees, not that. See, unless until you are in the shoes of a student, you will not be able to do or give your best standing with them, like today students are looking up to you as a contemporarily what you are able to give to them, and unless and until you remain in the shoes of a student, you will not be able to. So what I do beginning with my day, that I ensure that my day should begin with my pranayam and little yoga, so that I will be mentally strong, physically also I should be strong, so that I am able to take the things as such. And then timing your day, if you're really interested to do something, see, time is not a limitation. Every time people ask me, how can you manage with so many things in a day? See, everything is possible. If you want to take care of your health, you have to get up little early, and even in the night, ensure that you're going timely to the bed. Otherwise, just sitting with WhatsApp and all these things, late you sleep, and then you are not able to do anything. So to keep yourself energized complete day, you have to do schedule your things in such a manner that for everything, for yourself also, there should be a lot of time, as well as what you have a passion to do, that also you should be giving your best. That's what I feel. And if you want somebody to do something, first you have to reflect from your own side. First you have to do, then only your followers or your students or your faculties will try to imbibe those qualities. So that I have seen that every time my faculties and students have been learning a lot that way. So I feel that to remain as a role model, I have to first do so many things. So that's how I manage my time in a day, and accordingly I try to go ahead with my all schedule, and that's how I manage with everything at a time.
Very well put, Snehal, and it's truly inspiring to see that how you have, really become the role model for others to emulate the similar behavior. And it would definitely be involving a lot of personal sacrifices.
Yeah.
Does this have an implication altogether? Maybe I'm going a little personal. You may choose not to respond also, but does this really strain relationships at home? Or, it's just that, often we see that if you're doing really professionally, being the face, then, at home things are not managed well. Does it happen?
See,
And
that
how,
has
how do
I
you
have ensured that whenever I do something, at least I'm trying to convince everyone. Maybe it is family members, maybe in my in-laws' place, or to the students. See, unless we try to tell them the present scenario around us, why it demands from us to do certain kind of additional things to be done. So once you convince, that is most important thing today. I feel that everybody understands the thing if you can explain them with the needs. Unless we connect them to this kind of a needs, why this is required, unless you explain these things, that this will not make your life easy. So once I have I have explained this, that why I am doing, for an example, let me tell you where I am right now residing. This is a Goregaon place. Just backside of my, just in front of my bedroom is a big Dindoshi Hills, from where a river, Mumbai River, Walbert River, which originates from this hill. When I came to stay here in 2006, Before that, I had seen a lot of hillocks were cut, and lot of Raheja builders and many builders had built a lot of, IT park and all around. But since the time I came, I stopped all the work of this, because I tried to convince my husband, my child, and everybody used to say, "Arey, we are also staying in such a place where it has come out of the hillocks. Why you have to do this?" I said, since till the time I didn't knew, and I had come here, I was not knowing. But since I know now, I cannot just be a mute spectator. I need to do something. And we need to understand why this is important. So I started the things with that way. And when I take these things to, even when I take to the stakeholders, the authority around, it's not easy job, because these authorities are only in the nexus, and then they must have given the, permissions. Because if hillock cutting is not allowed, so if the work is going on, that means there are several other authorities, those who are together, and in nexus that these things are happening. You alone cannot do anything. But still, I feel whatever in your capacity, you can do a lot. Many people ask, what can you do alone? See, whatever in our capacity, we should be doing. So, like, I have a WhatsApp group of very well for stopping this kind of heel cutting. So this is what I can say, that there are challenges. There are mostly challenges come, but see, when I do my work in such a manner that I should be. See, we all know we have taken birth as a women. So as a women, we are sister, we are daughter, we are wife, we are mother. So we have so many multiple roles to play. And at the same time, as I say, we are born managers. We know how to handle stress, how to handle a lot of pressure, how to handle the challenges. I think we can do it very well. In this man dominating society, we have learned to strive hard, and we have tried to make an impact in this arena also.
Definitely, I think your volume of years of experiences, I think you have tried your level best to give it in a nutshell to us. And I think this is the right time for Mansi to step in to actually take a few deeper insights into your journey in the water sector. So over to you, Mansi. Just give me a minute.
Thank you, Vandana. Thanks a lot. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Snehal, because I think we can understand each other's dard. I will put it in that way. And the way we are trying to do things, you rightly put as a good manager, and then multiple roles played by a woman. And it's really, really great pleasure to be associated with you, the Jal Nayak of Maharashtra, and such a body of work, huh, Snehal? So since we are celebrating women leadership through this conversation series, and my role in this conversation with you is to go a little bit beyond and look at the aspect of women for water here. I'm sure you reckon that there are not many women leaders in the water sector, and global stats says 1 in 5 water personnel is women, and India is even way low than that. And you know that we are all trying to do something about it.
Yeah.
And you are also aware that it's really not true that there are not many women, but unfortunately they are not much acknowledged and appreciated across the fraternity. Even if they are, they really need more voice. And basically we need 1,000 Snehal in next 1 day or 2 days in the country to be really putting across some reforms in the water sector. But just to understand from you, why do you think we are really short of women leadership in the water sector? What is your insights on in this aspect, having worked for so many years?
Yeah, I'll tell you that there is no dearth in having women in the water sector. If we talk about the Jal Sahelis, if you know, they
Yes.
are doing so wonderful work. I've seen they are illiterate, but they are beyond an engineering people also.
Yes.
They do a lot of good work, so a lot of potentials. But still, I understand that from the time of Gandhiji, from the beginning only, it's like women have been always deprived of their rights. They have been considered very, wrongly, I will say. That as Gandhiji also said, to call women the weaker section is a libel. It is man's injustice to women.
Yes.
So this is what Mahatma Gandhiji used to say. That means, and that still remains very true in this present era also. then people like Mahatma Gandhi are very few. Like, Mahatma Gandhi again says that I have worshipped women as a living embodiment of the spirit of service and sacrifice. So how many men can accept this? How many men can do this kind of a respect towards the women? So we need to understand this aspect also. We understand that there are several women, those who are doing excellent work and excellent things. But I have seen in this, still men wants to give a vertical leadership where they just want to be in the forefront. They just want to use these women just for, having the complete background to be made for them. And then they will, because mostly I think we women have the guts to speak very straightforward, very outspoken, very, whatever the thing we have to say, we can very straightforwardly put it. And that's the reason that we are not considered mostly in many of the, I understand many of the, committees are being formed today as with the National Water Mission and many of them. But although they know our work, but they will never invite us. And
yes,
get it, because see, you had a few days back, you had put one very good quote of the Plato where you had said that how leadership should be. It's not just for the power. We are not crazy for the power, but men probably they want to show it with that power that they can, they can empower, they can just keep the women away and they can be the leaders. It's that way I put it. But then no, nothing can stop us. We will go ahead with what we have to do. If you look at anybody's background, most of the women, if you talk about Medha Patkarji or anybody, Kiran Bedi or anybody, you will see that all those women have gone through a lot of challenges and they have been, troubled a lot, but still we women cannot be stopped. That's what I understand. And in this, as such, we have, as I said, that we are so much multitasking. We have managerial qualities, which I don't see men can do the way we can do. The kind of hardship, the kind of work we can put in, these things they cannot do. But by virtue of that, they will help each other. Men will help each other. And today's trend, if you see, I call it as a totally a corrupt world today. Everywhere literally you go, there is a lot of corruption, and they know that women wherever women are there, this corruption cannot be done. So that is why somewhere they know our potentials, but they try to ignore us. They try to avoid for all these things. They don't want to get in trouble. That's why they try to keep us away. So that's what I can say about the women. Otherwise, everywhere, let me give you an example of recently I had gone to Rajasthan, where I had tried to get some National Finance Development Corporation's fund for in the Karauli village there, where some pokers were supposed to be made,
yes.
And I saw that those pokers are being made only by the women. Like, no men come forward to do the work. When you go to that village, you will find that they are sitting and having alcohol and doing time pass, but the women are in the field. All Shramadhan is for the women. Women are making all kinds of efforts for, getting water, so that with that livelihoods can be better. But nowhere you will come to hear, or you will come to know that these women have done such a lot of things in these villages. So this is what I can say about today's women. Women are all at the background. They are doing everything. But ultimately, for the credit and everything, men want to take that, let him take that. And day is not far when, today in every sector, you just take it. That today they have to accept that if you want to get some effective, impactful work, they are trying to take them as a CEO and all. Women only they are trying to choose. And that's what is the trend has started. It's just started.
Yeah, it is slow, but yes, definitely it has started, and very well put. Now you put me to thinking, is it our managerial skills that are actually exploited by the front mask or the face, which are mostly the men in the water sector?
Yeah, absolutely, that is being exploited, because every man knows that you give some women some kind of a work on, and they will put us in that kind of area of work only. They're like report making, and then beautifully making a good kind of a compilation of a work, and all these technology if you want to bring in, and very impactful certain records making and all those things, or say give some presentations to some big place and all. They will always choose these women to be in the forefront.
Even employees, Even employees, many people prefer educated women over men for that matter.
Yeah.
But I bring back the conversation to the leadership aspect of it, and you are very much aware, as I am aware of it, that we are definitely short of women leadership.
Absolutely.
If we just talk about leadership and not really women in the water per se, you know. So I mean, now you also know that we are really
Mansi, I
trying
am very, very happy that you started with this kind of a forum. Your initiative with Wiki and the way you have started identifying women in the society, giving them the recognition, giving them that kind of an importance, value, and showing to the world. See, through using a proper kind of a social media, the way you have made the team and the way you started this kind of a exercise, this was really very, very effective. And this is really very good thing that you have started. Now, at least people will know many more are there, not just men. Because, everywhere you
That's
just
the
open
point.
any kind of a media or anything, you will see everywhere men are doing the work. But
Yeah.
behind the curtain, you will find that all women are only doing. But today, because of these kind of an initiations, and I believe that many more women should do this kind of a thing, where many women can be given the kind of a recognition it is due to them. And this is only the way I think that we can make an impact in this world today. And it's not just in India. It's not just in India. Many of the technologically very sound countries and all everywhere I have gone and seen. Japan and many places I have gone and I've seen the way women are deprived. They are not given to, even take the education. And we are very lucky to be, taken birth in such a country where we have our say, and then we can do a lot of things. Today we have a lot of freedom and we can do things much more better than other country women.
Absolutely, absolutely. But thank you, Snehal, for putting those nice words on the efforts we are trying to do. But that also brings me to a little extra question, because when we talk about a matter of leadership, leadership is not about power, it is about empowerment. And what we are trying to do through this conversation series is actually not doing anything water activity. We are just highlighting the water activity which other women is doing, which means the person who takes up this leadership responsibility has to have a big heart, has to be big hearted to appreciate others, which is very, very difficult for everyone who is competing in this world to be the best. When people are competing to be the best, they are in a race to become the best. But when you want to see yourself as a true leader, you have to really not be the best. You have to say that your team is best, your others are best. And that is a very important quality which a leader should have. I mean, we are not talking about political leaders where one person party can run. But in general, when we talk about leadership, it has to be about empowering. And through this conversation series, we are just telling that, look, here is a woman from Maharashtra, from Odisha, from Pune, from XYZ place, and she is doing this work. Reach out to her. Importantly, that person's name will at least appear even in the Google. I looked at many of the women whom we are now in the network. If you Google them, their photo, their name don't even appear, in the search. So at least this is a very little effort to bring them into the search engine. First thing first, bringing them to the search engine where people can see. And then also banging the doors of the organizations and telling that here are the women who are doing good work. Now reach out to them. Then it's up to the woman to really take extra effort.
I'll tell you about this, Mansi. I'll tell you about this because as you have given me rightly the task of working with the community, as I have been very much connected to many places.
Yes.
I can tell you with the example of Maharashtra, with the example of Orissa, then Gujarat, then Goa, wherever I have traveled, I have seen the SHGs. They are working very, very well.
Absolutely.
That these ladies, they are very, very hardworking. They even though they are illiterate, but they are working like a very good, like today they have become good business people also. Recently, I was in Bihar. Bihar had started with Jal Jeevan Haryali program with the Bihar government, and then district administration had taken the lead to showcase their work, in terms of that how they are empowering women, at the same time how a community is being empowered through the proper kind of water management. So when we went to, one of the Araria village, when I had been there, Araria district administration, when we were sitting, and then all these SHG ladies were there. And, so beautifully they were talking about the things as if they are educated ladies. And they were telling that how they have managed the small ponds in the, certain places where they have been given to work with, opening some nurseries, making some small forest like, and then in the ponds, like how they are buying the seeds like fish for the fish farming and all those things. So beautifully they were talking in English terms they used to use, and then they are making good kind of an earning. They are helping others also to come in that business. And very well I saw that today how these SHGs are supporting their families also, although they are all uneducated, but I found that they are not less than uneducated ladies at all. So big businessmen they have, their business women they have become, and they are doing excellent job. So these kind of recognitions yet they have not got properly. So every level, like suppose recently I was in Orissa. Now in Orissa there is all kinds of, you name any industry they are there. But what they are doing in Orissa, in Keonjhar district, I was there. These Tata, Jindal, JSW, every industry literally, they are just transporting ore, iron ore along with water. That means river water is directly channelized through the pipelines, which is called as slurry pipeline, and they are taken to the industry. But let me tell you, this area is dominated by the Adivasis. These Adivasi women, they understand that if the river will be put into the pipelines and it is channelized to other place, and in an as an alternate, they have been given certain bore wells. Where river is channelized to the 300 kilometers somewhere to the industry in the city area, and there they have been given some bore wells which are dig for them to use. But these Adivasi ladies, they know very well that this is not environment friendly kind of a work which is happening. So they have stood very strongly. They are agitating for it. They are trying to stop. Because of that, one dam which was constructed by Tata, they have totally demolished it. They did not allow that dam to come up. And then they are now ensuring that how the forest should live, how the different kind of, vegetation can grow with the flow of the river. They understand the ecological system of river also
very well.
That's why today I say that instead of bringing tribals to the mainstream, we need to understand the practices and their way of living, and we should adopt to that kind of life. That is only the way to now today how we can save our environment and the planet.
Very well put, huh? Very well put. And also, by the way, Mother Earth and Mother India, huh? No Father Earth and Father India.
Yes.
So just to
everywhere, yes.
Yeah. But this is an irony. If I look at the literature, even from the Chipko movement and all, where women played, I still feel for Gaura Devi for that matter. Her name has only actually come to the forefront in the recent times when gender discussions are coming up. And Mulshi Satyagraha and all these, if I have to add to the movements. But looking at even the farming sector, the water sector, as you rightly put, majority of the workforce comprises of, and genuine workforce comprises of women. Even if we look at today in the corporate sector and government sectors, most of the managerial work, administrative work is done by the women. So that is is very much well established. So I'm just curious, do you think that women are not really interested to take up leadership position, apart from they are not really getting way out of it? But what really makes me think with you, because we are having first conversation in so depth, otherwise we just talk very short and go with our other tasks.
With an example, I'll tell you that where women try to keep away. With an example that I'll tell you of the Panihati region in West Bengal, where there are several Ganga Ghats, almost 34 in chain. And that's such a religious place, and it was like, if somebody knows about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had first time put the steps in that place, in Panihati. And
even Ma Anandamayi did a lot of work.
Yes. So if you go to this Ghats, these ghats have been converted into drainage system. You know, all drainage system is being released through these ghat areas, and they are all dilapidated conditions, all garbage dumping and all was happening. Now, I took the lead because I thought that my first PhD was in science, then second was in management studies. Third, I thought that a lot of managing we talk about, lot of scientific analysis we do, but now it's time that how we can understand the behavior of human beings. So social sciences I started doing, and then like in our India is only the place where, you know, we worship any stone, tree, river, everything as a god. Nowhere in the world it happens, but it is happening here. But still, why then river Ganga, which is, you know, having such a lot of importance, religious importance, and still why it is being so easily, why the government is also, you know, with their channelizing the system, drainage system, that they are polluting this river. So when I went there, just to conduct my this social sciences study, I ensured that I should be meeting the municipal corporation, and then I conducted on 26th January. I ensured that I should be doing some kind of, you know, activity where patriotism also should be done in a right manner. It should be sensitization should happen among the people, and at the same time, I will ensure that the ghats restoration we can do. You will not imagine that once I conducted that program, and and one more thing I parallelly try to do, that activity is one thing, but if I want to have a permanent impact, I wrote to Heritage Commission, West Bengal Heritage Commission, that I want these places to be declared as heritage sites, so that government should take the responsibility of it. See, why I'm giving this example, women can only give these kind of, you know, innovative thoughts by which they can, you know, trap the things, and by hook or crook we ensure that the work can happen, and ultimately government will have to play its role and then take care of these places. So I ensured that a letter should be coming, and then Heritage Department, I ensured that all correspondence happened. They also approved their visit also. But in between, you know, one of the person who was working there for, you know, their this Heritage Commission's website for tourism and all these things, and then local political party, president of that municipal corporation, that means Panihati Municipal Corporation. You know, when we were conducting this thing, somebody from BJP's person, he came and he just greeted me that you are doing very good work, and he went. But then this local political party, they made it like as if I have invited them. BJP was invited, you know, TMC is there, and then they have a very bad this thing between them. And a lot of political scenario was created where they started making a slogan that I should not step there and all these things. So many women, they get scared of this situation, you know, because
Yes.
how much you will fight, how much you will fight. Because, okay, I have a background, I'm an army person's daughter. So I am very much strong enough to face all these things, but every woman will not have this kind of a thing.
And they
you
have
know,
house. They have
yeah,
also house to manage.
housewives, and many of them, yeah, housewives, and otherwise also like those who are living in the jhoppadpattis also, but they know that this place needs to be cared. We need to work for it. They come when you start with all these activities. They want to come in. They want to help. But these kind of local politics, local these kind of administrations who try to, you know, scare them, who try to tell them not to get along, and all this way that many things are hampered by this kind of a thing. Anybody, see, I had that guts to fight. So I go there, I do my work till date I could do. Because as I said, I just didn't wait for those activities. I also ensured that through Heritage Department that I should get an approval. So that ultimately this municipal corporation who was actually, see, if you go to see that this is the normal procedure and normal work of the municipal corporation to take care of these ghats and these kind of places. But they are not doing their duty. And it's not just municipal corporation, but the urban development authorities, even the pollution control board, everybody has to work in their own ways, and it's their work, but they are not doing. But we have to make them aware of their duties and responsibilities, and we are trying to do that. And because of this, then there is a lot of opposition which comes. There is a lot of these kind of forces who work. They will try to scare you. Because of that, many a times, many women are, maybe my husband, my son is very, you know, very much supportive. That's why I am able to, and they know that wherever I'm going, I will be able to sort out my issues. So they don't get scared that way. But I don't think that every woman must be getting this kind of a family. They may not be having that kind of an opportunity. Because of that, that somewhere women are not coming forcefully with this kind of, situation around.
Yeah, very well put. I think we can be extra powerful if we get a backup support from the house, backup support from the system per se, and then comes the community and bringing change. And very well put, huh? I mean, because it can make us more, mentally more powerful to face the situation and bring reforms. So bringing back to the conversation of leadership itself, because as Snehal, you and I very well realize that if we want to bring a change, the leadership role makes a huge, huge difference. Whether it is policy change, whether it is practice change, whether even if it is talking about change in the positions of government offices or good organizations who are working. What do you think we can do together? I know you are doing a lot of activities. You are also aware that I am trying to do few things. Now, because we are bringing this convergence of bringing together women professionals and women leaders and amplifying their presence in the country so that they can be engaged more. By the end of these conversations, if we reach 50, 60 or 100, we want to make a booklet and even circulate to all the government offices. So we have to find some expenditure for it. Having said that, what do you think we can do additionally to really bring those already hardworking women into the leadership roles and positions? What kind of mentoring, what kind of activity we can do? See, we cannot give birth to women leaders all of a sudden. We have to find these women who are already doing and give, walk with them, talk with them, do something with them so that they realize their leadership potential within. What do you think? What can we do together?
Yeah, so I will tell you that in community, whenever I have gone, I have seen, as I said, that we all are born leaders or say having managerial qualities and then multitasking and so many things, we are able to adjust and do the things. It's more important, to visit the places. Like I often go to many rural areas.
Yes,
You
are walking all the days,
yeah,
huh?
yeah. Many a times I go to such places where even vehicles don't go, and I just walk and I go inside. I stay with them to ensure that they need little bit of appreciation also for what they are doing.
Absolutely, that is exactly what we are doing here.
Yes,
by the way.
Yes, we need to go to those rural areas, interior places, and we need to appreciate whatever the little they are doing. Actually, with this, strength by strength, that they can be made more and more stronger. This is what I believe, and hence it is more important that as much we can make a connection by going physically visiting those places. And one more thing, what I believe, it's not just for women, for everyone. Like empowerment is with awareness about all the kinds of rules, regulations, and which place exactly. Suppose if I, like for an example, I'll tell you, in Maharashtra, I'm working on Kamwari River. That is in Bhiwandi, in the Thane district. Bhiwandi is a textile hub, and there I'm working on this river. Now, if you look at the geography of this, geographical complete location, area of it, morphology and geography of it, yeah, we find that on the left side is completely Gram Panchayat, right side is completely this municipal corporation. Now, how to work with it and to whom we should go and meet, like suppose whether I need to meet the Tehsildar or I need to meet the CEO of the Gram Panchayat or I need to meet the block development officer or in the municipal corporation, if I go, to whom should I go and meet? These are the few small tips, if these can be discussed properly. Like many of them, they don't know, even the Gram Sevaks and all those who are working in the villages, they themselves don't know there are that community resource persons are there, CRPs are there are Sakhis, Krishi Sakhi, Bank Sakhi, these kind of things are there in our system. But these Sakhis, they themselves are not aware that what exactly they can do, from where they can get the information. So as much we go and meet them and give them these kind of little bit of information sharing is very, very important. Then with this information, I have seen that how confidence builds, and then very confidently that people are able to work. And then if you are having that confidence, with that, you are able to go and speak to the authorities, officers. They are also then able to, give you that kind of a support. They don't deny them. They cannot refuse to do anything. So this kind of, if we can give little strength by, giving them information about all these things, I think that will help a lot. little like support, like whatever. Suppose when I was going to one of the Ambarnath Taluka villages, there I saw that women only needed little support, loan support. So now bank gives some this loan to the SHGs. So they didn't know how to get this loan. So these are small things, but we going to them and then facilitating these things, this has also helped a lot. And once women get empowered, that they are able to help others also. So this is what I believe.
Very well put. I think you give me ideas on certain things which we can do together, Snehal. For example, because you are so well connected with community and grassroots women leaders, maybe we can, I'm just thinking loud with you and I'm on record, I'm aware of it. Maybe we can start doing something like this with rural leaders, it is very much possible that we do a small session in the local language, we find a host, and we can make it very, I mean, they will also feel very, as we are talking about, appreciated and acknowledged. And of course, then it remains forever in the public domain and people come to know what beautifully they are doing. So I talked to you about this outside this conversation, and that brings us to the last question of today. And that's more for the future generation, because we are having a shortage of women leadership in the water sector. We are even having women personal shortage in the water sector. What is your message for the younger generation about the opportunities in the water sector, and how can we really encourage them? What kind of message would you like to give? And it's for both genders and specific to the girls as well, of course.
See, I see there is a lot of opportunities. One need to find those opportunities. And if they understand these things, there is a whole lot of, and I tell you today, they don't have to be a job seekers at all. Yeah, let me give you an example, as I did it with the Vaitarna River in Palghar district. I had conducted one water security program with them, that social engineering for water security. Like I had conducted that kind of a course where we tried to build this, how students can take this as a career, And as I said, that social engineers are too much required today, because today government offices, every government offices require some data procurement, analysis, then giving solution in the community. So this bridging the gap of this kind of thing, there a lot of work is required, and students can learn. And I tell you, every situation, every day we have a learning experience. So if students can be, through some internship programs, they can be put, like for another example, I'll give it to you, like with GNIT, that is Engineering College in West Bengal. I had tried to connect them to this Ghat issue. That because in mostly these engineering students always learn exploitation, extraction, and these kind of things only.
Yes.
But they have never taught that how they have to come up with certain solution in that situation, like suppose ghats are being polluted with this drainage system. So what kind of a drainage system, vacuum drainage system, or any hydraulic drainage system which they can make, by which this treated water, even the treated water actually should not be released into the river, which is happening today also.
Yes.
But then how this treated water can be recycled very well to different places, and this kind of some innovative things, that if some projects can be given to students during their school days and during their college days, I think they can very well connect to the community, and there is lot to learn from it's an ocean of learning they can have, and then there is a lot of opportunities that they can explore in this by means of research, by means of innovative certain creating like startups. They can do a lot of business of, as today, as I said, that government themselves are wanting that there should be some community people, those who can connect to the community. So they have started now identifying all the NGOs. So in a big way that they can come up with the NGOs where this kind of bridging can be done. So I think there is a lot of opportunities which are there with the students to explore. And if they can really, during their education period, if they can do in a real means, and genuinely, if they can do some small projects of this kind, and their teachers can mentor well. Because today every subject in the new education policy 2020, whether it is school or the colleges, very well it has been emphasized that there has to be community oriented projects which needs to be done at every level, in the school also and in the colleges, from the FI level to the post graduation. So it's a very good opportunity. So during this period, if students can take up some kind of a project connecting with the community, there is a lot to learn. So with that, soft skills, technical skills, life skills, everything they can get. And today, every corporate or anywhere you go, they don't ask you with a very technical skill specification because they train at their level. But these things which you learn, like life skills, soft skills which you learn, emotional skills which you learn, this only you can learn while you work in the community. So my urge will be that all students, whether they are in the schools or colleges, they should ensure connecting with some NGOs or some community work through, as I said, NSS and Department of Lifelong Learning and Education Extension and many other things like scouts, guides and all, through this or through the means of subject learning. If they connect with the community, I think a lot of learning will happen. There will be no lack of job opportunities because every time parents or the students, they are worried about what will be the career in it. But I tell you, there is a lot of opportunities and research is becoming more and more bigger space and a lot of scholarships and fellowships are available. Like for us also, there is it is there. We need not do any job because fellowships are also at a very good amount you get. Only you need to explore these things. So I think it's a very good opportunity that most of the students, they should try to come into this so that along with giving certain solutions to the problems, and along with that, they can get their satisfaction of, doing their responsibility towards the nation and as well as towards their own local areas. So I think this will be the best thing if they can do.
Thank you so much. And I think that will also keep them motivated and find meaning in life, which is often the case that youth is looking for meaning in life.
Yeah, monotonous and both learning.
Yeah,
it becomes otherwise monotonous. But yes, if they do this kind of a things, and I tell you, I have seen most of the students, those who are working with this mode, they remain very excited. They want to do more and more. And most biggest thing, I know that they have very, very wonderful potential, latent potentials which they have, and that gets nurtured only while they work with the community. And that's how they become a great leader. They are able to remain confident. And today, as we see that students otherwise remain in isolation, they are sitting with their gadgets, they have this WhatsApp and all these. So instead of that, those who are working in community, I see that they enjoy doing work in community. So this will be a better way of keeping themselves excited every moment and enjoy the life with this.
Absolutely. And you are a classic example for this, because I'm sure you didn't realize how last 2-3 decades went by in your life. From your youth time to
that's why very early at the age of 44, I could took voluntary retirement from my job where my salary was 3 lakhs. I could just give it off because I understand that at a stage you have earned enough. Now it's time that you need that happiness by doing certain thing in the community. So that comes up.
And I know you are walking across the country. Every other day I see you are walking in some part of the country. And I see you a lot with the waterman.
I was to go to America to study that Colorado, that river which has been taken to Los Angeles. But then I had to postpone because I have another meeting in Madurai. So that's why.
Yeah, you are walking, every inch of the country. I did notice that. In the last 1 year, at least, I saw you have walked so much, and you were also alongside Rajendra ji doing a lot of activities.
During COVID I did not stop. During COVID also, throughout.
Yeah, you were walking around. You were walking around. I saw that.
I enjoyed.
But very well put. That bring the youth to the community, and they will find meanings in their lives, and that's very important message for the younger generation. So that brings an end to our conversation as part of women leadership. Because if we can bring to them the community aspects, the social aspects, the ecological aspects, I think that true leadership can be born from within. We just need to show them some directions about it. So with these words, I will say you thank you and hand it over to Vandana to do the formal thank note for the session. Over to you, Vandana.
Thank you so much, Mansi, and thank you, Dr. Snehal. I think we owe a big time to you. This is one of those conversations which has totally extended beyond the routine time that we follow. But I think it was indeed wonderful to listen to somebody who has actually given up, sacrificed many things to pursue this particular thing that we are looking on. Many aspirations of young students, you have rekindled it today by putting across that how working in the community can be something that they all can look forward to. Recounting on your academic contribution, I think it is wonderful amount of work that you have put in, right from training the faculties, bringing that rigor in the academic delivery, and also engaging students at the same time. Being a fellow academician, I totally empathize with you that this is not a smooth ride. And I think all those who are part of the meeting will also, deeply acknowledge that this tough task that you have been able to do with the zeal and the effort and the passion and altogether your academic and personal professional experiences, I think it was truly, top. And the best aspect that we noted today, and I think this is one of the major key takeaway for us in terms of those who are, new to the sector also, that, building leadership is a skill and art that you have to hone over the years. And I think passion will give definitely a good direction in this space. So thank you so much.